Hey William, how's it going?
It's all right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, coming through clear.
I'm actually gonna switch to a separate mic. Do you mind?
Yeah, not at all.
Is it clearer this time?
Yes, much clearer. So can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So tell me a bit about how things have been going. How's your voice doing, and how's progress been?
It's been good. Yes. It's been good. Um, I'd like to say that um, it's something I already had in me. um, the puffy cheek exercise. Um, One of the songs I've been obsessed with has been Phantom of the Opera. Um, and with that, you have to have at least a passable imitation of a classically trained male voice. And so something within that felt familiar when I started opening up with the puffy cheek into rounder vowels, actually.
Oh, interesting. Okay, great. And have you been doing some singing of that song, and that's getting better, or?
I've actually just been exploring um, what the puffy cheek has been giving me. Like, it's too it's your hallmark exercise, probably for good reason. Um, so if it has been that helpful in helping your students try trying to sing higher notes, I've been trying to do the same then, just without the exercise because like there's a point in my voice to where it's so liable to break that if I don't make enough space in the mouth, um, I can't hold it. That's why I had a little bit of issue with when I first learned about it.
Gotcha.
Probably.
So when with the puffy cheek, it shouldn't negate how much your jaw can open. So like you can have a puffy cheek and really open the jaw the same way you would with an open ah vowel. So it's something that just needs to be adjusted as you're doing the puffy cheek into the higher range, but it can definitely be done. So what did you want to get out of this lesson? Like what are your main points that you feel like you really want to work on? And because I want to get really specific on getting the most out of today's lesson.
Um, I guess I just wanted to show you this. I just wanted to see if there was anything to be improved upon still with the same thing. Mainly, I just wanted to sing for you and then see if I'm going the wrong way or not.
Okay, so let's do that. Do you want to sing the Phantom of the Opera?
Um, Probably a different song though. I was thinking Hallelujah.
Let's give it a go whenever you're ready.
Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased our Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Do I keep going or you want to end it there?
That's all I know.
Oh, okay.
It was just a small excerpt.
Okay, cool. So how do you find that the puffy cheek has been helping you with that song?
Well, I just mean like as I said in the last lesson, I care less, sadly, about exercises and more so just applying it to when I'm singing along with other singers. It's more so just keeping the muscle memory aspect in mind. Uh, it's supposed to every exercise, as you know already, is supposed to give you access to a certain muscle coordination in the voice.
Hmm.
Um, but that's what I mainly focus on whenever I sing along with other singers. I don't really try to imitate too much. Um, I more so just use it as an actual applicable practice for myself.
And so generally how would you practice with the puffy cheek to get that technique starting to be applied to your muscle memory?
Ironically, I use the exercise instead.
For hallelujah.
Um, for just for just building the muscle memory, rather. Like I would, that was the one thing I got closer with instead of the puffy cheek. Um, Basically, I've just been trying to make those refined coordinations on a quieter level. And then I just tried opening it up without thinking. Um, and then I just tried opening it up and then thinking compressed, but only opening it up as barely big as necessary, so that
Opening
I
what up?
wouldn't splat like my mouth. I
Your
wouldn't
mouth.
like that. I wouldn't, as you said last time, use my neck. I wouldn't like. I would just try to keep everything enclosed, but not to the point where I raise or tense the jaw.
And so you use the E, the very quiet E on the melody of hallelujah, and that's how you've been trying to do it.
I wasn't. It's more so. I was more so just playing around with certain notes. Once I got better at doing the actual whole tone movement, I just started playing around with separate notes, like separate notes among my range. And so I just went from the E to a slight ah, and then I um turned it into what you just heard, but not really with one particular song. I've been applying it to several songs that I knew really well already.
And does that include your entire warm up regimen? Is that like E to then opening up to the ah, getting a little bit louder, and then going into songs? Is that pretty much your daily warm
Um,
up?
um, eh, I would like once it gave me the coordination, I wouldn't really touch the exercise alone anymore. It was more so just like knowing what it felt like to use the muscle coordination and then literally directly apply it to songs,
Okay.
to the
So
songs I know.
how long would you spend doing the exercise to until you knew it was in, like how would you know, at what point would you know that it's in muscle memory now?
Um, I guess once I realized that the puffy cheek wasn't working because it really was hard for me to think. Like in the last lesson, it really was hard for me to think dropping the jaw and puffing the cheeks out. Like that, for whatever reason, could not happen at the same time. And so when I tried doing that again on my own, I tried just doing it on an awe. Like I just went like, bah! like just I let it go into a bigger vowel because that felt easier for me for whatever reason.
Gotcha. But at what point did you feel like what you were doing with the quiet E was starting to come into muscle memory? Like, how did you know that it's okay, it's time to move away from that and I don't need to use it anymore?
When it got easier for me to transition from my falsetto range, um, still in that twangy, very, very small mixed voice down to my chest. If like I try, like once I knew I could do that, I tried, just tried, let's just say thinking of what I've been doing, but less out there. There's like quieter. I was constantly thinking quieter, um, pulling some of the sound back into the, I'd say back into my head because I knew it wasn't strain. It was just natural compression.
So, would it be possible to do Hallelujah like that? I want to hear what that would sound like.
I did show you what that would sound like.
So, that there you were going quite loud.
I I shall do it again this time, thinking extra quiet. Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya?
Could I stop you 1 second, William? Can you do the E slide for a sec?
Mm,
Do those feel like the same volume for you?
relatively so.
So I mean, just from I don't know if it's the microphone or, but from what I'm perceiving, it's the E you're going soft and very very quiet. Whereas as soon as you go to the words, it's getting louder. It's getting significantly louder. So I'm just having trouble seeing how the exercise is being input into what you're doing in the song.
Um, I intend. Sorry. I guess when I said I was trying to think everything quieter and pulled back, I wasn't actually thinking that, just making sure that everything was narrow, just making sure that the space was narrow. Um,
Okay.
does that have anything to do with it?
Not really. So, I mean, you're tending to bounce around a lot with different ideas, and it's not really coming through in your approach in singing. Um,
Apologies.
no problem. So, let's start with this. Let's start with what I'm hearing in your approach of Hallelujah that's going off and that I think needs to be adjusted. Number one, your vibrato is shaky. What I would say, just to begin with, is shutting off vibrato until we can get a nice stable undertone, like a straight tone that can be nice and stable. Because then we can put a vibrato that is going to be much more uniform and fluid. Because the vibrato should flow, and there's a little bit of a choppiness to the vibrato right now. So that would be the first thing that I would do, is try to get rid of that. Also, what I'm noticing is you're placing your voice very far in the nose, and it's imbalanced. So, and I think you're trying to find that brightness, that ping, that pharyngeal sound, but I think you're misinterpreting what that pharyngeal sound is. Um, so, what I would do is try to find a little bit more of a mouth balance. So instead of Well, I heard there was, like all being right there, being a little bit more into the mouth. Well, I heard there was a secret chord, being a little bit more balanced. The other thing I would do is try to really place the E in the same place as the, or sorry, place the singing in the same place as your E, because your E has got a really nice um, solid tone to it. There's a steadiness in there. So I would go, well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played. It pleased the Lord. That's more the volume of E that you were doing in the exercise. Does all that make sense?
It makes sense, yes.
Does that resonate with you, or does that sound like I'm coming out of left field?
Usually, whenever I get corrected, it comes out of left field, uh, is what I'm starting to find. That I go with it regardless.
But why does it feel like it comes out of left field? Like I'm saying, how
Because,
does it make sense to you, but then also feel like it's coming out of left field?
um, because that's just how I grow. I'm not aware of it until something different sparks my attention. Or
Do
I'm
you
not
hear?
aware of this. I'm not aware of the mistakes I'm making until someone else points it out. That's why it's out of left field. It's not really out of left field. It's just like, it's more of a curiosity thing.
Okay, but you're obviously noticing that there's something lacking. Otherwise, you wouldn't be coming to singing lessons, right? I mean, in that you're here, you're noticing there's something missing with what I'm doing that I feel like I want to get. So, what do you feel if it's not those things that I mentioned? What do you feel is missing from your technique that you need to get?
Uh, Balance in my higher range, that is for sure. Like, it hasn't really, that hasn't really changed.
What do you mean by balance?
Um, just like you said in the first lesson, first I was spreading. Now I'm still struggling with volume issues. Um, I'm just trying to get my mixed voice under control because um, I thought I was doing well, and I wouldn't say I'm starting from square one, but
No, definitely not starting from square one. You have a basis. You have an understanding. It sounds like you have a lot of the intellectual aspects of singing. You've got that. You've done your research. You know exactly the terminology, how to apply it. The problem that I'm seeing is that there's a disconnect between the intellectual knowledge that you have and then applying that in real time to your voice. So, what I would say is number one, record and listen back to yourself. Do you do that a lot? Do you record and listen back to yourself?
I post YouTube videos a lot, yes.
Okay, awesome. And when you're recording those YouTube videos, do you go back and critique them yourself, or do you just kind of put them out there and
I critique them, but it's more so I post reaction videos, so it's more so just like using my voice for demonstrational purposes. Um, I have found it difficult to get past the almighty F for tenors and just male voices in general. Never impossible, but just like I can only touch above it for a short time, then I have to come back down.
okay, I
Now
think
I now
terming
now
it
I
the almighty F makes it sound scary. Like even when you said that to me, even though I can hit an F, when I hear that, it puts it up on this pedestal that is like the almighty F. Like I'm not gonna be able to ever touch that and like go above that. Can't go above the almighty F.
no, I
That's
mean like I do go over it. I'm just I say it like that because I know it is like the breaking point for male voices in general. An E or an F or even a D to an F. Like that's the area that most male voices, from my research, yes, at least, that's where they have to thin out and then expand from. Like that's how most males are able to sing female high notes without flipping to falsetto.
Right.
Um,
So we're in agreement there. But the language we use when we're describing things is very important because that's how we perceive them. So when when you use a term like that, and why I'm harping on it is because it has a subconscious effect on the way that you look at higher notes, right? If you're thinking, you know, whatever note you want to give it, the almighty high C, the male tenor high C, even putting the term the high C makes it sound so unattainable.
yes.
Does that
Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the reminder.
I mean, I didn't mean it as a reminder. I mean it as try to be careful about the way that you speak to yourself. Because those thoughts that are running through your head are going to dictate how you're going to be able to approach your voice.
um, yes. I Okay. I'm just gonna spill it. The reason why I say things the way I do is because I don't know how to communicate. I am on the spectrum as well as with ADHD, so my mind is has always been sporadic, um, especially in the way I communicate. So usually, I like to explain myself because I know once I say it, it's out there, and I also have to say what I meant behind it. Because when I said that I have that it's the almighty F, I wasn't putting it on a pedestal for myself. I was saying it's apparently a big deal, considering what I've heard from my research. It's apparently like it's almost like I'm constantly using metaphors. Does that make sense?
Yes, and that's perfectly fine. Being on the spectrum, that there's, that's perfectly fine. But the terminology that we use, like we can adjust the way that we term things, and that metaphor is not going to serve you, is what I mean. Is that
Um,
acceptable? Does that make sense to you? Or you
yeah,
can tell me like you
it
sound like
makes
you're full
sense.
of.
It makes sense.
Okay, all right. Um,
Thoughts, full of thoughts. Yes, I always am. Not it's not like that. It's just like I can't really process everything. Um, let's. I think I can just like try it out still. The um on the hallelujah notes, like
I appreciate you feeling
yeah,
comfortable enough to share with me that you're on the spectrum. It sounded like there was a big buildup to. I'm just gonna spill it. So I appreciate you being open enough to let me know that.
I mean I can't move on unless I at least let some. I can't move on unless I let someone know, um, if they're ever working with me and they notice this about me.
Is it something that you feel like you have to hide?
No, not really. It's more just like this is literally the reason why I am the way I am. It's more just like letting them know and seeing how they respond.
For sure.
Um, Trying to think. Oh yeah, mouth. You said think mouth, not nose, right?
Yeah, so thinking more towards your mouth instead of putting it all right here, putting it more down here.
I'm just gonna start on a new.
Sure.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm not really trying to go that quiet. I'm just trying to keep with the volume I picked.
Okay.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
So on the top, you're gonna have to find a little more brightness. So there you're overly it's a little bit overly dark. So there we go. Yeah, we gotta find more of that. Ooh, a little bit more of that heady resonance. Ooh.
Um,
It's starting to let go. Let go even more. Ooh.
sorry, I'm just on the verge of laughing from accomplishment. I'm gonna have to start the build up again. Like, I'm constantly having to ground myself. Ooh, 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 ooh,
Here on the top, it
ooh.
started to slip into the right spot. That's where you want it to go. If you could try to make that happen earlier, you'll be golden.
Oh, 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 oh.
Nice. And until the end there, you've got a little bit of the vibrato coming in. So I would try to remove that. But everything else didn't have that vibrato there. So that was really good. I want you to try now with the words, trying to place it in that same place if you can.
Well, nope. I'm not gonna start that early. Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Good. So your oohs are starting to go more mouth heavy. Your ahs are still placed in your nose. Can you just give me an ah on any note? Ah.
Is that the shift we needed?
Yeah, so do you see how that's a little bit more placed in the mouth? Oh, as opposed to ah. We want to shift that.
Ah, ah, ooh, ah.
Can you try that on your ah vowels in hallelujah? Put it in the words.
Sorry, repeat that instruction.
Can you try to put on all your ah vowels in the words? Try to put that sort of resonance pattern.
Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Good. I think the bottom note could not go that low into the mouth. Like, it's a little bit too much. There you go. That's more of the balance. Perfect. Yeah. But everything else was much better. How did that feel?
As passive as the falsetto, which is
Okay, good.
probably what needs to happen.
Making it as easy as possible. That's the goal. Um, okay, good. Now, what we got to work on is your enunciation of your consonants. So we've got the vowels in place, but your consonants are really sloppy. So we got to really make sure that they're articulated in a crisp way. So, well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the baffled king. So all of those should be nice and crisp. Baffled king, major lift. We got to get those a little bit more crisp.
How do you know when you should um, emphasize the consonants or pull them back?
When it's starting to sound mumbled, that's when you want to try to get more crisp consonants. When it's starting to encumber your higher notes, that's when you want to pull back.
Where was I again? I know where I was. It's more just like figuring out how it starts again. I'm gonna start at the very beginning, and
Sure.
I'm trying to figure out where I was for that. How did the lyrics go again?
I heard there was a secret chord.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I heard there was a secret chord that
Oh,
David.
let me stop you there. Let me stop you. Secret, secret. That's not a sharp R. I want to hear sharp consonants. Well, I heard there was a secret chord. I want to hear those nice and
Well,
sharp.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for. But you don't really care for music, do ya?
Keep going.
Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
So there I think your G of
Yep.
composing got a little tight. So you can be a little bit lighter on that G of composing. Composing hallelujah. You can even sing composing and ignore the G altogether.
The baffled king composing hallelujah.
Flows better. Baffled. I wanna get that B tight. The baffled king.
The ba The baffled king composing hallelujah.
Okay, we're close. We're close. There's still some of those consonants that need to be a little sharper.
Hallelujah.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just I was just trying to emphasize the in hallelujah.
Oh, okay. That's an important note to make. We actually, H's, we want to de emphasize as much as possible. Do you know why I say that?
Yeah.
Why do we want to de emphasize H's?
I've heard that certain consonants, wait, it's one of two things in my mind. one, it's either straining because you're pushing air without using the voice. Two, um, it cuts off your airflow.
It doesn't cut off your airflow because we're actually increasing in that moment. We're increasing airflow, but I totally think number one is exactly the point I would want to avoid. You're literally just bleeding fuel. So think of your air supply inside your lungs as the fuel for your voice. So when we have a, we're bleeding out that fuel. It's like cutting your gas line on your car for a couple minutes and then reconnecting it. We want to try to avoid that as much as possible, but we don't want it to sound like alleluia, right? Because you're not actually saying the word, but you just want to, add in as little h as you possibly can. But the l's, the f's, the r's, those ones, the t's, we want them to be sharp. Those ones we want
Is
to
it,
emphasize.
is it because they keep the airflow going?
No, they actually cause stoppage, but the reason why we want to keep them articulate
Crisp.
is, pardon?
I was just using what you said before, crisp.
Yeah, be, yeah, that's the term I was looking for. Was because we want to be as clear with our words as we possibly can, and if we're kind of mumbling through it, "Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played," which is great. It's great for getting flow. Like I get a lot of students to do that to be able to flow from. I'll even have students remove the consonants altogether. So that we can start to get the flow through it. But for you, you've got the flow. That's not the issue. Your issue is actually finding clarity in your enunciation.
I am still trying to find the flow because um, it was it was a drastic difference to go from ooh to the words.
Yes, of course, there's going to be a big difference because their ooh, you've only got one vowel all the way through. So every single phrase is on a single breath. When we've got t, f, those sounds are breaking up the sound. So you're never ever going to get as much flow as you are with just a straight vowel. So you want to try to balance those two out. They need to go hand in hand though. So try it again. This time I want you to really focus on all those consonants.
Um, okay. Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major left, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
So I think it
Yeah,
might be easier to do on lift. You're doing lift. You're doing two notes there. And you can decide, but I think it might be easier to go just straight to the second note. Major lift.
yeah, I am too used to using grace notes.
It,
Um,
it can be a really nice technique that will spice up the song, but you don't want to use it if it's causing you strain.
well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major left, the baffled king, composing hallelujah.
Getting closer. We're getting closer there. Still had the grace note though. Can you try to do it without the grace note just to show me you could do both?
So ingrained. The baffled king, The the baffled king compose an hallelujah.
But it was that major lift. Goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift. That one.
Well, it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah.
Okay. We're still a little bit light with the I want to give you an example of what you're doing where you are keeping a lot of flow there, but I want to try to get to more of this. So I'm going to show you what you're doing and then show you what I want you to do. So right now, well it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift. Where I want to go more towards is well it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift. Do you hear the difference between those two?
Yeah, it's more just like there's just like so many things I've done when I would spread. Um and it's just like I'm afraid to go back to that even the slightest bit because you did say it was straining. Um
But there's nothing about what I'm doing in the second one that's spreading, right? I'm not going, well, it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth. We don't want to do that. Well, it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift. It's all rounded.
yeah. Well, it goes like this. The fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
Good. That's more in the direction we want to go. It's a little bit staccato right now, but sometimes we have to bend the rod backwards in order to straighten it. So do it a couple more times like that, staccato, and then we'll find the middle ground.
Well, it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
Yeah, sounding much better. That's sounding much better. Now, if we take that and we all we got to do is do the exact same thing, but instead of stopping after every consonant, we bleed the next vowel into it. Well, it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
One moment. Well, it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
Almost there, almost there. It's getting a little bit strained on the baffled king part of it.
The baffled king composing hallelujah.
Yeah, it can help to round it out a little bit more. You don't have to go like meaning
It's just hard.
opening a. Mm.
It's just hard to place the resonance backwards and make like at this point it's more just like warming up when I practiced before because what you're hearing is what I have done before. It's just I would be focusing on belting. um Basically it's hard to combine the draw to mouth and the compression right here. Now I'm not engaging anything right here. It's just where I feel the resonance being connected.
Mm. And what part would you be belting? I'm confused on that one.
What I mean is like I'm using what I mean is like belting. I I like to belt in my chest voice or that part of my voice. Um And so I would be focusing on these kinds of notes, the D to the F, and then somewhere around down to the A at some point. Like, because since I'm a tenor, apparently, I might as well start trying to sing like one. I've I knew a few covers that other singers have done, and so I would sing along with that. I'm just explaining how I'm getting to this point in the lesson so quickly. I mean, because last time it wasn't I was barely getting to the E.
Okay. Can you show me what that belted would sound like?
Um, I'm trying to think how far I'll go in this key. See the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me. That's an example. And I would just like open it up on that G because yeah, that's when you're entering your full mixed voice. And no one knows how far it goes.
So you're on the F there, on the far it goes, but the other one, yeah, you're not at the G. Um, you'd have to step that up. So, um, when the light of the calls me. Yeah, so you're at the F there. So you'd have to step that up a whole tone. Try it up. When the light Try it there.
I can't do that.
Oh, but you were saying that that's what you would do up to the G, no? Or did I
No, I mean
misunderstand?
like I mean like I would just what I mean is like I would increase the bright resonance because the higher you go, the more space you'll have to make. What I just mean is just like there's a like at the F I can come to be like ah, and then at the G I would have to be like ah ah, like show a tiny bit more teeth. That's what I mean, nothing more.
Okay, gotcha. Um, okay, so let's go back. Let's circle back to the Hallelujah song. One thing I want to hone in on is you're going. It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. You're doing a run there. I want you to slow down that run and show me where those notes are placed. Can you try that?
Sing it.
Yeah.
Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall,
That one, yeah.
fall.
Okay, good. That's cleaner. That's much cleaner than you were doing before. So with runs like that, it's better not to do them if they're going to be sloppy. If they're going to be nice and clean, we could do them. So one thing I would do is just practice going over like that, getting really fall, getting each one of those notes right in place.
Fall.
Yeah, and then when you're able to do it slower like that, then you can speed it up.
Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall.
Nice, much better.
Um, so so we were back at trying to sing with diction, sing with
Yeah.
better diction.
So obviously including that run the way you're doing it now, and then also doing it with diction, but then as well not trying to go too wide as you go for baffled king composing hallelujah.
The minor fall, the major lift.
So there,
The baffled, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
good. And lean a little more towards it. Baffled king composing hallelujah. We want to put that more mouth heavy.
The baffled king composing hallelujah. Is
Almost
that
there.
better? Almost.
So there, let's play around with the soft palate. So what's happening is you're dropping your soft palate down. And when your palate is down, it allows for a lot of sound to come up in the nose. So what we want to do is actually, as we're going up in this range, we want the soft palate to rise a little bit. So what I want you to do is, oh, first let's open the soft palate and then let's close it. So I want you to make an NG sound. Oh,
Mm, mm,
good. That's the feeling of that openness. And you can see your
oh.
nostrils flare when you do that. So your nostrils flare like that when you do the baffled king. Watch yourself in the camera as you do baffled king. Do it.
The baffled king composing. Ugh,
Do you see that nostril flare that's happening there?
my camera is too small right now.
You can change it. If you go to view in the top right hand corner, if you go to gallery, it'll be much easier to see yourself.
The baffled king composing hallelujah.
Do you see the
A
nostril flaring happening there?
tiny bit, but I was trying to not let it happen.
So the only way we're not gonna let it happen is if the soft palate rises to block the nasal port. So right now you're opening up the nasal port a lot. So I want to show you how we could block it. Number one, a yawn is one of the best ways. It goes up. The baffled king. That's gonna get rid of this. The baffled king, where it's coming through the nose, and you see my nose flares when I put it there. Whereas the baffled king, my nose doesn't flare because there's no air moving through.
The baffled king.
Almost. Think more of a yawn. The baffled king.
The baffled king.
Good. And instead of kang, let's think king.
King.
Yes. The baffled king. And more of a, oh, king.
The baffled king composing hallelujah.
Good.
Amazing.
On hallelujah, I would also put a
Yeah.
little bit more of a, oh, hallelujah.
The baffled king composing hallelujah.
Good. And you don't need to be so emphasized on the yaw. It doesn't have to be so wide and open. You can get a little bit more narrow because now we're at a lower pitch. Hallelujah. You can be a little bit more soft and nuanced with it.
The baffled king. It's just like so ingrained of a habit to just do stuff spontaneously.
What did you feel there that you stopped yourself?
Nothing. It's more just like I'm not thinking before I go for it.
Mm.
The baffled king composing hallelujah.
Yeah, much better. How'd that feel? Did that feel pretty easy?
Not really. I mean, it's from it feels freeing, but it's more just like I'm still trying to like I'm trying to still adjust how I feel about so much resonance, about so much not strain at all, compression. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's not, you're not feeling, I guess when I meant
I'm
difficult, I
not
meant physically
feeling
difficult.
tight.
Right,
I'm not
right.
feeling tight.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to refer to. Okay, good. So I want to give you some homework to work on here. First off, what I want you to do is go through the phrasing there of the song. And I want you to first start off with with just the melody and an ooh, the way you did, focusing on mouth resonance. That's going to reset yourself away from this opening up of the nasal port. Then what I want you to do is put the words there and really focus in on the consonants. Once you've done that, then try to add back the yawn feeling to close off the nasal port so you're not having so much nasal resonance.